Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, and for those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law, and through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and also a short trading lesson at the end, so please stay tuned. Let's start by having a quick recap of the previous video where we looked at tick symbol MMAT, looking at potential catalysts for the stock going forward that were announced in July the 6th, and looking at the details and the implications of those potential catalysts, and looking at also whether or not the stock has some good potential going forward for the long term. So please refer back to the previous video for updates on MMAT. Before we start today's stock analysis, just like to remind everybody about the Patreon and Discord, which is now active. Details are in the link below. In the previous video I also shared details of a potential new penny stock, which was initially first shared in the Patreon, so please refer back down to the link for details of that. So let's now start with today's stock analysis, which is going to be on two stocks. First stock is tick symbol ABML, and the other stock is tick symbol LKCO. So we're going to start with tick symbol ABML, American Battery Metals. I'm sure you're all aware that tick symbol ABML over the past few days has been struggling in terms of momentum. It has been affected by the general overall market conditions, which has affected most of the stocks going down. However, there has been some good news, and you will have noticed from the Thursday this stock did recover quite well. At one point it was down close to $1.60, finishing on the Thursday in excess of $1.93, and you will also be able to see on the screen the price at time of editing as well. There was some positive news with regard to American Battery Metals, and what I'd like to do is share a news article here dated July the 8th on the company website, and the headline here is American Battery Metals Corporation provides pilot plant updates. So the key updates here can be identified in the two key bullet points at the top. Let's have a look at what these are referring to. So the first key bullet point is mass grading permit approved. Second one is final permit application anticipated prior to beginning construction to be submitted imminently. So that is excellent news. Let's see what else we can find in this article. In the second part of the article here, we can see that the statement here is saying that progress continues on our lithium ion battery recycling pilot plant with approval of our mass grading permits. The company has also said the final step to construction work is the submission and approval of the core shell building permit. They believe they are prepared to submit the core shell building permit next week. So that is good news. So potentially once that has been approved next week, I'm sure we're going to see a positive catalyst for the stock going forward there as well. However, in the second paragraph, this is also encouraging news here as well. The company has confirmed that they are working with design build general contractor, which is Miles Construction, and architectural firm BJG Incorporated on the design and construction of the plant and storage facility. The pilot plant is going to total approximately 100,000 square feet of building space, including 60,000 square feet foot production space. So this is really good news. The company are implementing their plans and strategies for starting the production of their processes, and it looks like long term this is going to give us excellent returns on this stock. Let's move over to the final part of the article and see what we can find here. So the statement here in the final part is, once our core shell building permit is approved, we will commence grading at the site. The company's lead construction manager has also stated that timing will depend on the news, the review and approval process by the city. So ABTC is preparing to begin on-site construction of the pilot plant. As well as that, they're also looking at building a new web page for the company. So that's going to be positive. And on this website, we're going to receive updates with regard to progress of the site work, building construction, equipment installation, system commissioning, and the start of commercial operations over the coming months. So those last few words are very, very positive and bullish as far as I'm concerned, because what they have said, just to reinforce again, the company have stated start of commercial operations over the coming months. So very good news. I'm very confident in this stock long term, and not worried at all by any fluctuations downwards. So it's one of the stocks that you do have to believe in long term. It has been subject to short attacks. However, unlike many other stocks, I think this has showed a strong recovery, and I'm very confident this will continue. What I would now like to do is share an article from Global Newswire dated July the 8th, 2021. And this article is also giving us positive reassurance for the long-term potential and prospects of American battery metals. So the headline here is lithium-ion battery recycling market is going to be worth $16.8 billion US by 2027. So this is in response to a report by Market Research Future, MRFR. So let's see what else we can find in this article. Final part of the article is just confirming the problems that China has had with regards to distribution of battery technology. China is one of the biggest producers and manufacturers of battery technology. So what this basically means, the outlook for the future is the demand is increasing, the supply is having difficulties and issues with regard to meeting this demand. So what this basically means going forward for the future, alternative sources of production are required. Because at the moment manufacturers are only capable of meeting short-term demand. So the demand is going to escalate, EV technology is going to escalate, so there is going to be a huge market for this going forward in the future. So the potential and the market cap for American battery metals, in my opinion, could certainly explode. One of the reasons why I am so confident about the future for American battery metals is illustrated in this diagram from Bloomberg, and this is looking at the lithium-ion battery market development for electric vehicles. So if we go back to 2010, the price was much higher than the actual demand. So this was not a significant problem because the demand was not huge. However, if we look at 2021, this is the point where we are right now, and this in the diagram, this is represented by a point of equilibrium where the demand and the price are around about the same. So there is kind of sufficient demand and supply to meet market needs. However, going forward, we can see the projection for 2030 is for the demand to escalate quite significantly. So that is certainly the case in Europe, certainly the case in China, and also the US. So the potential and the future for American Battery Technology Company is going to be very positive. Just to finish off now with American battery metals, I'm going to share with you a headline which I'm going to make a prediction right now in this video, which I expect and I hope is going to be a real headline in the future. So if we look on the screen here, the headline I'm predicting is Tesla teams up with American Battery Technology Company. So that's my prediction. Whether it's 2 years, whether it's 3 years, whether it's 5 years, let's certainly cross our fingers and hope this happens. Second part of the video is going to cover Luokung Technology, ticker symbol LKCO. This is a stock that I have featured a few times on this channel, and it's also a stock that I've invested in on a number of occasions and taken profit. One of the reasons why I've taken profit is this is an extremely volatile stock. Just a few days ago, this was trading well in excess of $2.60. However, what we can see now is there has been a movement down. Market conditions have affected many stocks, including LKCO. And on Thursday, it was trading around about $1.88 when I chose to reinvest in this stock. However, what I'm pleased to confirm, there is no significant breaking bad news affecting this stock. It's just a healthy pullback. Let's now have a look at what are the reasons for that and what's the prognosis for the future. So I'm going to share a headline here dated the 8th of July 2021. This headline here is basically showing one of the reasons why LKCO did trend down a little bit. And the headline here is with regards to shares of Chinese and Asia Pacific companies trading lower amid growing COVID-19 concerns in the region, as well as regulatory concerns in the tech sector. So there was a stock that was affected by regulations from China. That stock was a new stock. I think it was ticker symbol DIDI. However, that is not significant with regard to Lukon. So we're going to look at reasons why we can still remain bullish with regard to LKCO. First of all, I'd like to just summarize the key positive catalysts for Luokung Technology. The first one, that it was removed from the delisting by the US government. The other factor with Luokung Technology, there was breaking positive news on June the 18th, which was a subsidiary of Lukon, which is eMapGo, getting a new contract with new generation traffic control network and smart highway demonstration project. So what this basically indicates is confidence in the government of China in this stock. So with regard to any regulation, it certainly doesn't, it's not going to apply to Lukon. So that, to us as investors, certainly should give us more confidence. The final thing I'd like to share with you with regard to ticker symbol LKCO is a summary of the large institutional orders over the previous 5 days. And we can see here none of the orders were a sell. So there was a large buy order on the 2nd of July, large buy order on the 7th of July, and a large buy order on the 8th of July. So this is positive news for investors, because what this basically tells me is as the price is going down for LKCO, some people with, you could say, paper hands and panic sellers are selling. When the price was at one point $2.60, came down to around about $1.88. So some people did panic sell. What this basically means, it gives a good buying opportunity for many investors. It also gives a good buying opportunity for these large-scale institutional investors who are demonstrating confidence in the stock. So this is also one of the reasons why I have also chosen to reinvest in ticker symbol LKCO, and that is primarily because the price is certainly very attractive right now. So what I'd like to do now is finish off by giving a strike price for ticker symbol LKCO. So if you can catch this anywhere around about $1.80-ish with a pullback, so a good price for long term would be under $2 going forward. My price target in the previous video for LKCO was around about $5 for the end of the year. Many people have commented that is quite conservative. However, I'm still going to stand by a price target of $5 by the end of year, because the market is always unexpected, so we must expect the unexpected. However, I will be more than pleased to be proven wrong if this price of LKCO does exceed $5. It's now time for lesson of the day, and today's lesson of the day is the dangers of panic selling. So what I'd like to do now is share an illustration here showing two images. One, unfortunately, is a shout out to Greg Scohen and what he tweeted in 2011, May 16th, 2011. Greg unfortunately tweeted, "I wish I'd kept my 1,700 Bitcoins, which I bought at 0.06 cents. Instead of selling them at 30 cents, now they are trading at $8. So I'm sorry to say, Greg, bad decision. It was something that I'm sure you're going to live to regret. And this is one of the dangers of panic selling. However, on a positive news, we can see that Greg did get, a 4- or 5-fold increase in his buy price. But sometimes I believe you should identify some stocks that you are holding for the long term. So my particular stock for the long term that I'm choosing not to sell is American Battery Technologies. For this particular stock, my average is 30 cents. At one point, the price went well up in excess of $4. So I didn't sell. So this is a stock that I will be keeping long term. And it's also a good idea, in my personal opinion, to identify some stocks that you're going to hold for the long term in the belief that the company has a great future going forward. So let's now finish off by looking at the illustration on the left, and this is just something a little bit humorous, and it's a small child asking the father, "Dad, how exactly does the stock market work?" And the father has said, "Well, you put your money into the stock market, for some reason you lose money, then you panic sell, and somebody who's smarter than you makes your money instead." So that's one of the dangers. It's certainly a lot of truth in that statement. When people panic sell, people do buy, and primarily they do make profit. Thank you very much for joining me. Please stay tuned. Join me again.